Hi, my name is Bob Taylor. I'm your host today for this segment of Our Ventura TV. I'm here today with my guest, Tara Diller. And Tara's representative of the Ventura County Animal Shelter. Hi, Tara. You're involved with animals. Okay, one thing I've always wanted to know, we're a no-kill area. How do we keep it a no-kill? I mean, is everybody a no-kill, or is it just certain shelters?
Well, that's an interesting question. No, most communities are not a no-kill community. In fact, throughout the nation, there's really only 90 communities that are considered a no-kill. And I think when you hear the term no-kill, you would think that indicates that we would not euthanize 100% of our animals, right?
Yeah.
When in fact that means that we're saving about 90% of the animals that come into our care, because there's a 10% factor of animals that we're not able to save. So what a no-kill community means is that we do not euthanize any healthy adoptable pets. Should this county continue to achieve the status of no-kill, which we have now for 7 months, we would be the largest and second county in California to achieve that.
Oh, that's really great. So
yes.
How did you get involved?
In the animal sheltering world, or
yes,
here in this county?
World.
Well, I've always had a love of animals. I think growing up, our family was the household that you could take stray pets to. My parents have always loved cats, and I kind of fell into this. I have a funny story if you'd like to hear it.
I'd love to hear it.
Okay, so I remember first walking into an animal shelter with my then boyfriend, who's now my husband. And it was actually the first time I cried in front of him. We left an animal shelter after looking at adopting a cat. And I remember walking really fast in front of him, and because I had to cry. I was so sad at what I saw at that shelter. And it was the first time I cried in front of him, and I walked out of there really enlightened to the sheltering industry. And not long after that, I sought a position at that shelter, and I was offered a position there. And that's when I started my career at 23 years old in the animal sheltering industry, and haven't looked back.
Oh, that's really a good story.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden going to adopt a cat brought out the passion in you.
It did. It really ignited something in me that knew that I could either be a part of the problem or I could be a part of the solution. And I think people ask me all the time, I don't know how you do this. How do you do this? And something inside of me tells me that I'm making a difference in a small way or a big way in every day, but I'm making a difference.
Well, I know we can't be 100% no-kill, because if dogs need an operation, you only have so many dollars to invest, and dogs get real old and are not adoptable, and sometimes the most humane thing for them is euthanization in one way or another.
Right.
So I guess that would be next to impossible. Now, you work with a number of nonprofits. I know Paw Works, Pit Dog Rescue. What other ones are on the top of your head?
I'd say that's really a key to our success. We work with Paw Works, TLC, which is Tiny Loving Canines, AFLAR. I'd say those are our biggest partners at this point that help us to continue to be no-kill. When we're in desperate need of having an animal pulled out of our facility, those are the strongest partners that we work with and really help to continue to help us to achieve this no-kill status. So really working with these nonprofits, adopters, return to owners, and really trying to reunite, working with the community such as yourself and getting the message out there. I'd say that's really crucial, and really trying to leverage as much community support as we can by bringing in more nonprofits. But yes, I'd say Paw Works is one of our largest partners. TLC is our largest partner as well, and AFLAR.
TLC, I like that name.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're
right.
Amazing.
So if somebody has to bring a dog to the shelter, or an animal, or a cat, or they find a stray or that kind of thing, if you guys are full, you can't accept them if you're totally full. I mean, there's got to be some kind of law about how many you can house in a certain spot, or you have to have some kind of standard. So that's when you get a hold of one of the nonprofits to see what they can do for you?
Well, actually, there is not a law. So by law, we must take in every animal. I think that is the difference between us and some other organizations, is that by law we have to take in every animal that comes to us. We can't turn an animal away unless it's an owner surrender. That's really the only difference, is that we don't have a law that tells us we have to take in an owner surrender. So we can't turn an animal away. So we leverage the community, we leverage Facebook, we leverage Twitter and Instagram and the community, and I think it's really been tremendous, the outpouring of success that we've had. And in general, I think it's working.
Well, I've recently found 2 of them, Paw Works and Pit Dog Rescue, I think the name of them is. I'm not really sure, but I get both of those stuff, and I did see the little Paw Works challenge about sending in the pictures of kissing your pet, or
Yes.
$20, kind of
Yes.
after the ALS thing. But
Yes. I heard you weren't challenged yet.
no, I haven't been challenged.
Stand by for that challenge.
I'm sure it's coming. I would have to use my mother's dog. She's got a little Chihuahua, but
Okay.
little Chihuahua could go to anybody and lick him in the face. You know,
Yes, yes.
My mother actually gets a little jealous when the dog does that. And so, if people volunteer for these groups, for the different, for
Yes.
Paw Works, or TLC is what it's called?
right.
Tender Loving Canines?
Yes.
Oh, how cute.
Tiny
is that?
Loving Canines.
Tiny
Yes.
Loving Canines. All right, so do you just Google them, find them?
Yes, if you're interested in getting involved with our local partners, just Google them. You can find them on Facebook. They're all very active on social media, and they all have web pages as well. So I'd recommend Googling those local rescues.
Okay, now how is the Humane Society different than you guys?
So the Humane Society does not have state mandates to take in all of the animals that come to their door. So they're nonprofit, and they only have to, well, they don't really have to do anything. The laws really apply after they take an animal in, right? So when an animal comes to their door, if it's not behaviorally sound or if it's not medically sound, they don't have to take the animal in. They don't have any state laws or mandates that say they must do that. Typically, they only take in owner surrenders. Some humane societies take in strays if they have a contract with one of those communities. And our local humane society doesn't have a contract with any of the communities, so they typically only take in owner surrenders. However, they do take in some strays for us, and if they are adoptable, they will keep them at their shelter for us. They don't take in pit bulls or German shepherds or anything like that. So our shelter handles the majorities of those breeds.
So you guys, being a state run, you can't turn down those pit bulls or anything. If somebody picks one up.
We're county run, but yeah, that's correct. We can't turn away any breed specific or behavior specific.
No, I've always thought, and I guess I've been wrong since I've got to know you, but I always thought everything that had to do with rescue or anything that had to do with animals, you just call the Humane Society.
Yeah, a lot of people think that, and that's okay. The Humane Society serves an amazing purpose in our community and most communities, but there is a difference. There's a difference in how it's funded, and operationally there's a difference in how it's run.
All right, so and the group you run works mostly with groups like the Humane Society.
Sure. The Humane Society is our partner. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, now if somebody wanted to do volunteer work for you, or Paw Works, or the tiny little canines.
Mm-hmm.
That
Tiny
kind of
loving
thing.
canines,
Tiny
yes.
loving canines.
Yes.
What kind of jobs do you have for a couple hours a week?
It's amazing the opportunities that exist. I think people tend to think that working at a rescue or a shelter, you have to clean cages or do nitty-gritty stuff, and it's just not.
That's exactly what I thought.
Right. There's lots of things that you can do. You can transport animals back and forth to different locations or to vet appointments. There's always laundry. I think that's something people don't realize in the animal world, is the amount of laundry that we have to do.
It's nothing I would think of.
No, the amount of laundry, it's a full-time job. There's lots of administration work. There's lots of data entry. And cat socialization, right? Who would have thought? Trimming the cat's toenails, or just loving on the cats, or the small dogs, climbing into a cage with a small dog who needs a little bit of love, or even a large dog. So it's not always nitty-gritty work. Of course, all of the groups in our community need help with cleaning cages and things like that, but not everybody is suitable for that. So there's lots of jobs out there.
You know, I get flashbacks when you say cat socialization. One time we had 5 cats, and boy, I tell you, if I'd ever thought of the term cat socialization, they all would have been taken care of one way or
Right.
another, because they were, sometimes they were great as a group, other times they got a little carried away.
Right, right. And let me add to that, the Kong stuffing program is amazing. So
what program?
Kong stuffing.
Kong stuffing.
Kong is something that keeps dogs, whether they're rescue dogs or shelter dogs, keeps them mentally sound. And so Kong is it's a red toy that you put peanut butter in, and you can freeze
right.
it, and it's really good for the rescue dogs or shelter dogs, or to keep them mentally and behaviorally sound. And so that is a program that all local rescues are looking for help with, is somebody to help stuff Kongs and deliver them out to the dogs.
Oh, so
I'd
that's
say
what those little things shaped like little Santa Clauses or something?
Yes,
That's what they are?
exactly. Exactly.
Oh, okay. You put
Little
a
Santa
peanut butter
Claus.
in
I've
there.
never heard it described like that.
Well, that's
but
what it looks
that's
like.
precisely.
You set it down. It looks like
Yes.
a little Santa Claus or something.
Or a snowman.
Or a
Yes,
snowman.
yeah.
That's exactly what they
Yeah.
are. Okay, so anything is available. Anybody that wants to do anything can call your office and get a hold of you and just say, hey, I want to volunteer a couple hours, or they could call just Google dog rescues and call one of the dog rescue places in Ventura County.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
I would say if you're looking to stay local and volunteer your services for a local Ventura rescue, right? So Google Ventura County Dog Rescues or Paw Works or CARL. The acronym is CARL, which is a local boarding facility here in Ventura, which helps to board all of these rescue animals. So I would definitely recommend that they Google Ventura County Dog Rescues if they want to get involved with some local dog rescues here.
I told my mother that when my son had to give up his dogs, that the dogs were rescued, talking about Paw Works. So now everybody that comes over, she tells them the dogs have been turned into rescue dogs.
Yeah.
And I try to explain the difference to her, but she's just so proud of the dogs because now they're rescue dogs.
Yes, they are.
So I just try to go with the flow and explain to people, well, Paw Works did rescue them,
Yes.
but they're not trained rescue dogs. They're
No.
just lap dogs, or
They're safe.
big funny lap dogs. All right, is there a phone number somebody could call to get a hold of your office or anything? Do you have a
Sure.
office number?
Sure, they can call us at 805-388-4341, or they can email us at vcar.volunteer@ventura.org.
Oh, that's
to get
great.
more information about us. And you can always look at our website at vcas.us for more information about us.
All right, well, our time's running out.
Okay.
We got to go. I learned an awful lot about the differences and what's going on and different ways to volunteer, and I'm sure that's going to be very valuable to people out there that really want to do something. A lot of people really want to do something, don't have a lot of time, don't have a lot of money, but every hour really helps with those animals, doesn't
Yes,
it?
sure does. It sure does.
All right, well, thank you very much, Tara, for being here, and thank you for talking about Ventura County Animal Services.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, I want to thank Tara Diller and with Ventura County Animal Services. My name is Bob Taylor. I've been your host for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until next time, enjoy your afternoon.